Thanks, Chrissy, and yes, back to resources. So it's good afternoon, and it's a pleasure to be presenting Ora Gold at the Southwest Connect conference. The Ora Gold investment thesis is fairly simple. We're an advanced gold explorer based in Western Australia with high-grade gold prospects sitting on granted mining leases. So the standard disclaimer. So we are focused on the Garden Gully Gold Project, which is just to the north of Meekatharra in Western Australia. There are several major gold mines nearby, and that's interesting when we look at development options and whether we have to build our own mill or we could potentially toll mill at other facilities. I would classify us as an advanced explorer, given the nature of the tenure that we have. So granted mining leases with native title in place over the key resource areas. We have small resources existing on those current properties, but that's set to grow substantially. So we spent the whole year drilling out some new discoveries on those new discoveries on those tenure blocks. I joined the company in February this year, following a recap and a management change, and it's been a busy year since then. So we've raised money, we've been busy drilling. Last quarter we drilled 9,000 metres of RC and a little bit of diamond, that's the sort of activity level that we see going forward. And also, as I joined, brought I guess the ability to recruit new team members, and we're adding some strong talent and know-how to the Ora team, which is great. We recently tripled our land holding in the area, and so that's going to keep us busy for the next foreseeable future, and we're focused on organic growth from here. So Ora trades under the code OAU, and we're capped at 38 million, 2.3 million in cash after a busy year, but we're funded for what we need to do for the foreseeable future, for the remainder of the year certainly. So we can see here where that recap was that I mentioned before in about February. So the stock's traded from 0.3 to 0.8, so that's actually been quite a good performance in what's been a pretty dull market more broadly for gold equities. And that just reflects the exploration success we're having, relatively tight shareholding structure with the top 20 owning 50% and only about 3,200 shareholders. We're building our insto and component of our register, pleasingly with a couple of instos joining in the last capital raise. So just zooming in on the project. So this is a geological map with our tenure overlaid. The key things to note here are that we're near Meekatharra. The primary focus is the Abbott's Greenstone Belt. Gold was first discovered in the Abbott's Greenstone Belt in around 1905, but we've been progressively putting the tenure together, building up a large contiguous land holding, which now stands at 677 square kilometres. And this belt has significant gold shows all the way down the eastern side, with the Abernathy shear zone running down this side. So that's where we see most of the gold occurrences in our belt. I'll spend a little bit of time talking about the Crown Prince gold prospect, which is in the middle here, and that's located on a major shear zone that comes up from the south. So this is zooming in on the Crown Prince prospect. It's a high-grade series of gold lodes sitting in quartz veins. That's fairly standard geology for WA gold, and clean metallurgy, and whilst complicated in geology, thankfully the metallurgy is quite simple. So what we're seeing here is some fairly twisted and contorted shapes. So it's a refolded quartz vein. So it's quite tricky to drill, but when we do hit it, it's very high grade. So the drilling here has been delivering over 100 gram metre intersections fairly regularly for the last few months. So that's very encouraging and looks is positive when we're thinking about wrapping that all into a resource. There are two main ore bodies that we see at Crown Prince, likely to be mined together, as a pit and then an underground at depth. So that's this zone here, which we call the main ore body or mob, and that was known about first. And then this is our new discovery, which is SEB, which is southeastern ore body, southeast of the one that was known. But these, in a 300 by 250 metre area, we're seeing very substantial gold endowment. So you can see some of the highlights here from the drilling, and I won't go through each one, but 40 metres at 16 grams from 75 metres, 17 metres at 12.5 grams from 96 metres, 16 at 37 grams from 146 metres. These are pretty spectacular intercepts. So we're really looking forward to wrapping those all into a resource before the end of the year. So I'm just going to show you the next figure is going to be a cross section through here, looking towards the northeast, just so you can get a feeling of how this drilling is shaping up. So we're now looking, underneath through the Earth's surface, looking to the northeast. This is the southeastern ore body or SEB ore body. So we initially drilled at surface and got some really good results. And then followed that up at depth, and I'm sure you can't see those numbers, so I'll read them out for you. So 6.4 at 26 metres in a diamond hole, and then we've drilled around that and got 17 metres at 12.5 above it and 16 at 37 metres below it. So, good widths and good grades. So, that, to us, that this ore body looks like it has around 800 to 1,000 ounces per vertical metre in the southeastern ore body. And around 400 to 600 ounces per vertical metre in the main ore body. So when you're thinking about mining that together, that's those sort of economics, would stack up with those sort of numbers. The economics stack up well with those sort of numbers. So this is what it looks like in fresh rock. So we drill through a dolerite, which is this dark green rock, and then we hit this browny, light brown sort of quartz vein. And then this is where we see the high grades, and then we go into a barren quartz vein and then back into dolerite. So for any geologists or ex-miners out there, you'll understand that this is pretty visual and pretty clean looking metallurgy. So carbonate alteration, very high grade hang wall and footwall zones, and we do see occasional lower grade quartz right in the middle. So we're getting a good handle on our ore body, and everything that we're seeing points toward good economics and a very mineable scenario. So in terms of current activity, we drilled 9,000 metres last quarter. We've reported on 3,000 metres in terms of assays received. We've got 6,000 metres or thereabouts pending. So we look forward to covering off on those before the end of the year. This is a photo of drilling at the SEB ore body. And you can see the green bags going off into the distance that way, and so this is sort of easy access and fairly simple exploration. So it's really a simple story, but high grade, very mineable gold. So we've delineated the ore body over around 250 metres of strike and around 150 metres of vertical depth thus far, and it's still open at depth and open along strike to the northeast. So as we think about how big this ore body could be, we look at the area next door that's more well known, and the deepest hole there extends far deeper than we've currently drilled at the southeastern ore body. So the deepest hole in the next door ore body is down to 260 metres, and one of the best intercepts actually, so 8 metres at 22 grams. So we think that it's very likely that SEB, which is the new discovery, will continue at depth, and so when we're seeing those sort of 1,000 ounces per vertical metre type numbers, that's gives us a lot of confidence to keep on drilling. So, while we're focused very much on Crown Prince, as a advanced, potentially mineable deposit, and we're undertaking all the studies that go along with that, metallurgy and geotechnical and hydrogeological, and that's the flagship asset of the company. We also have a substantial land package around Meekatharra. So, just coming back to that regional map that I showed you earlier. Here we have the Abbott's Greenstone Belt, Then we have ground down here to the south of Meekatharra, and ground out here in the broader Meekatharra Greenstone Belt. So a large land package, and we're going through the process of ranking all of our prospects, and we're careful explorers. We spend money very carefully and judiciously, but there's definitely gold deposits to be found with such a large ground package with big structures running through them. So, turning to next year and our plans, we're well funded, well supported by our brokers. So Canaccord are good supporters of ours and sponsors of this conference. Argonaut are also good supporters of ours, and we welcome their support going forward as well. The research team at both of those houses is looking at us closely, so that's good. Now, recent funding from our brokers has been applied to that, to drilling out that resource at Seb, and the split is around 80% on Crown Prince and about 20% regionally, and that's the sort of split that we see continuing going forward. So our focus is on building the project to scale. That is a resource at Crown Prince, and also we're happy with the size of the tenure package that we've got for the moment, and given that there are 7 mills within trucking distance, depending on grade, but using a working grade of around 5 grams, it starts to look very interesting in terms of our strategic land holding, very mineable deposit, and so we think it'll be a fairly exciting year, and we've got lots of options in front of us in terms of either going on our own or toll milling or joint venturing, and we'll just have to see what happens in the next 12 months. Thank you.